Okay folks, so if you'd like to go over to the exercise files and open up this caterham.psd file and then go image duplicate and then go up to your 2-up view and select your 2-up view. If you want to gain access to this strange little image here, you can do. It's in the exercise files. It's colorwheel.jpg. You don't really need to open this, but I need it open because I'm going to explain something to you in a minute, and we need it for a point of reference. So just come onto this Caterham copy image, and I want you to go to paths, and inside here you'll see this thing called work path. Now this is a path that I've already created inside this image for you, so it saves you having to go and make the selection which is going to govern the area of the colour change. If I click work path, you can see the quite rough and ready work path that I've laid out with the pen tool. Now we need to load this work path as a selection. Now there's two ways we can do that. We can either come down to the bottom of the paths panel here and click this little icon at the bottom which is load path as selection, or we can simply hold down the command or control key and click it, and now we've turned that path into a selection defined by our wonderful little marching ants. Aren't they great? Ah, hello boys. Right, now what we're going to do to this image and use this selection for is to go and make the commonly touted color adjustment using the hue slider of the Hue Saturation dialog box. So if we come up to image adjustments, Hue Saturation, or command and control U, alright, and we'll just pull that across there out of the way. Before we go and make the adjustment, I need to talk to you about colour, and this is where this little illustration comes in. Now this is basically a colour wheel, and in this particular illustration it's starting at the top with yellow and it moves around through green, through cyan to blue, and then from blue through magenta to red. So as you can see, yellow and red are next to each other. Now these lines here, they divide this colour wheel up into rather like a cake being divided up into 6 slices, but these actual lines here do not delineate the edges of the slice. They actually delineate the centre axis of the slice. So in other words, the actual edges of the slice would be sort of through here and through here, and that's the centre line of this yellow sector. Now underneath each line is the purest colour of each sector. So there's the purest yellow, purest green, purest red, purest blue, etc, etc. You get the picture. Now this colour wheel is obviously a 360-degree circle, and how many colours have we got? We've basically got 3 primaries, red, green and blue, and we've got 3 secondaries, yellow, magenta and cyan. Now if we come up to the Hue Saturation dialog box, if we just see where it says master here, if we go and open up this drop down menu, we can see we've got reds, we've got yellows, we've got greens, cyans, blues and magentas. So that they are our 6 sectors. Now the last time I went to school, 6 into 360 equaled 60. So basically any point in one of these sectors, if we change it by either plus or minus 60, we will switch it by exactly 1 sector, one way or another. If we change yellow to red, we need to make a minus 60 change. If we change yellow to green, we make a positive 60 change. So these units or increments of 60 can be regarded as basically a stop or a colour stop. So we've got these 6 basic individual definite well-defined colours within our colour circle or our colour wheel. Now we obviously don't see a colour wheel in Photoshop inside this Hue Saturation dialog box, but what we do see is this, and this is basically a flattened out colour wheel. It starts at cyan and it ends at cyan. So if you can remember, I said to move from yellow to red required a negative 60 change. You can see that yellow's down here, red's here, so if we move this slider, you can see we've got a negative value. So this is where positive and negative come in, and you can see we've basically just gone and changed the colour of that car to roughly orange. But anyway, we'll just put that back where it was, and what we need to do now, let's change it to a red car. Yeah? Let's keep this nice and simple. So to move from yellow to red requires a shift of one stop, if you like. So what we could do is in there we could type minus 60, and yeah, we've roughly got a red car, but it's not red. It's very, very deep magenta, sort of magenta-y red. So on that colour wheel, this colour wheel, we could roughly say that the colour that we've changed the car to is somewhere in here. And to be quite honest, that's right, because the yellow of the car that we started off with isn't actually pure yellow. It's somewhere down here, getting on for orange, if you like. So it's on the red side of the yellow sector. So if we make a full one-stop change from there, that's obviously going to put us on the magenta side of the red sector. So what we need to do is take this theoretical change and actually reduce it. So using the up arrow key on the keyboard, we are going to work this down. As you can see, as we drop this value, this negative value, and make it, if you like, more positive. So we're actually reducing the amount by which it's moved. So we're actually, as we increase that value and make it more positive, what we're doing is we're moving the colour change from here more round towards this red sector. Alright, this red sector centre line, if you like. So we'll keep pressing the up arrow, and as you can see, it's getting very red now. Bit more, and we're going to leave it there. So what we've done is we've done a negative 47 colour shift to get us from this yellow to this red, and we're going to click OK. And so basically what we're going to do now is press Command or Control D to deselect, and that's how we make a red car with the Hue Saturation method of Selective Colour Change. Now what we're going to do is to go over to Caterham.psd, our remaining yellow car, and we're going to look at changing colour the proper way. The first thing we're going to do is hold down the Command or Control key and click on the work path to convert it to a selection. Then what I'm going to do is go up to the Adjustment Layers panel and click on Channel Mixer, and now we're ready to make some proper selective colour changes. Now just to reiterate, if I click over here on the Layers panel, you can see we've got this Channel Mixer adjustment layer, and the selection has been activated as the mask for this adjustment layer. So any adjustments that we make will take place within the confines of the white areas of this mask. Now just temporarily I'm going to deactivate that layer, come back into the background, click on Channels and go up to my Photoshop preferences and select Interface, and I'm going to just activate this checkbox here, Show Channels in Colour, just for a moment. So now you can see that we've got our red channel, our green channel and our blue channel. The image that we can see inside the red channel is actually behaving like a mask. If that image wasn't there, this rectangle will be totally red. If there wasn't an image in the green channel, that rectangle would be totally green, and if there wasn't an image in the blue channel, this will be totally blue. So this is the way I want you to get to. I want to get you to understand channels and the images that are contained within the channels. They are just basically masks, which, where they are white, they let their respective channel colour through. Where they are black, they stop their respective channel colour from coming forward and being involved in the creation of the image colour completely, and where they are grey, they partially let their channel colour through. So I hope you can understand that, and for goodness sake, if you've just done this, please don't leave the show channels in colour option selected, otherwise you will get so confused. And plus the fact, if your channel mask is anything other than quite contrasty, you're going to struggle to see it. So just deselect that again, and we'll click OK. We'll go back onto layers, we'll reactivate the channel mixer, and we'll drop back into channels just so you can see what's going on. So what we're going to do now is to effect a colour change in this yellow car, and we're going to make it red. So what is it we actually want to do? The red channel contains these three red, green and blue slider controls. What these controls actually do, they have nothing to do with colour. What they actually refer to is these three masks. Now, as you can see at the moment, the red channel is using 100% of the red mask, 0% of either the green or blue masks. Similarly, inside the green channel, that's using 100% of the green channel mask and 0% of either the red or blue channel masks. And inside the blue channel, no prizes for guessing what's going on there. It's using 0% of the red or green mask and 100% of the blue channel mask. Now, once you understand this and what these sliders do, changing colour is really simple. What is it we actually need to do to this yellow car to turn it red? Simple. We go back to the red channel. We need the red channel to use 100% of the red channel mask to allow as much red light to come through as is humanly possible. The blue channel is letting hardly any blue light through at all because it is so dark. So basically what we need to do is we need to make changes to the green channel because too much green light is being let through this sort of medium channel mask, if we like, because it is allowing a certain amount of green light through. So if we go to the green channel and we say to that green channel, look, don't use the green channel mask, don't use that at all, but use 100% of the blue channel mask, bingo, we've now got a red car. And if we actually take these two images up, let's just shut this colour wheel down, go away, there we go. If we just take this this image up to 100%, come on, let's get up there. Well, we don't need to go up that far. If we just care to look here, we've got perfect fidelity of colour change. We've got a perfectly rich red. That red is moving through into the shadow areas here, whereas if we compare this area with the light area over here, yes, the red colour shift here isn't too bad, but there's no way we could ever describe this colour here as being red. It's more magenta. We've got a perfect colour change over here in these reflection areas. Down here on this chrome, on this shock absorber here, we've got perfect red colour on the shock absorber itself, even on the trademark logo of the strut manufacturer there. Whereas if we look at it over here, there's no way you could say that that was red, that's magenta, it's pink. So basically this is a far better way of making effective colour changes within an image with total colour fidelity, and it will be a pointless exercise. You're trying to go anywhere on this image here trying to find any errors, because you're just not going to find them, because the colour change, I've said it before, I'll say it again, the colour change has been made with 100% total fidelity. So there you go, that's changing colour the proper way.